Welcome, everyone, to Stone Soup Poetry. I am your host and the captain of this freak train, Chad Parento. Our feature tonight is marvelous Marvin Louis, Dorsey. I'm looking very forward to his reading. We usually do the open mic first, and then we have the feature. So we're going to get started with that. Thanks to everyone who's been coming out in June. We've had one of the more loaded loaded feature months, and I'm hoping to continue that. I'll be able to announce features for July very, very shortly. I still don't know if we're going to take the week of the 4th off. I'm not 100% sure, but regardless, we have a feature already solidified for the 16th, and we have more to be announced once we get a hold of them. And hopefully, I'll be able to make some announcements, at least for the local poets here for the Boston Poetry Marathon, that I just contacted. This is exclusive to you guys only. I contacted the Community Church of Boston, and they're ready to give us our preferred dates. So hopefully, I'll be meeting with people to discuss that, and I'm excited about that. So thank you guys very much for your patience. We're going to get right to the open mic, and we're going to begin with Mr. Mark States. Mark, take it away.
Thank you very much. Workers' paradise. Behind the receptionist's desk in the middle of the office was an alcove with one window on one end of it. Behind ugly gray and wide four-drawer file cabinets, you could see the top several inches of classical green cubicle walls and the backs of credenzas overhanging two wooden desks inside the cubicle. An entrance was smack dab in the middle between two solid wall posts forming the boundary of this alcove. Standing outside the cubicle entrance and looking in, one could see a table with a potted plant, obviously on an unwanted and compulsory hunger strike, seeking more sunlight and better sitting conditions. The occupants of the cubicle referred to each other as cube mates, cubies for short, although there was nothing romantic in their relationship. Aside from negotiating who gets what once one of them moves out of the cubicle, like the good stapler, or squabbling over the other's visitors, some of whom remain way beyond their welcome, or of one yakking loudly on the telephone when the other needed quiet concentration on their work. It was not easy coexisting in half a cubicle in the center of a busy office with the rush hour traffic of coworkers and office visitors making racket and creating chaos much of the time. One day, a coveted cubicle in the back corner of the office became available. Not that people visited there frequently or passed it on the way to somewhere else. It was just a wall and a dead end. The occupant, she had been there for years, quietly doing her work without fanfare or self-cheering. She was the unsung hero who kept the process going. And doing it so well in anonymity, the only reason you knew she was on vacation was that someone else was doing the work and screwing it up. That cubicle conferred no status, no panoramic eyeball popping view, no passageway to the big chair or even to the break room refrigerator. That cubicle was coveted simply because it represented peace and quiet. Can you imagine having to submit an essay in 250 words or less to explain why you deserve to move to this cubicle more than the other four people who asked for it? The winner got to move from a half cubicle to a full cubicle that was smaller than the half cubicle on the far end of nowhere. And being invisible or out of sight, out of mind, the occupant was out of the loop and out of the office drama. For some of us, that is as close to a worker's paradise as we will ever get.
Thank you so much, Mr. States. Always appreciate you coming by. Check out his poem published recently, I think 2 weeks ago, in Oddball magazine. Very glad I held on to it for the beginning of June. Let's welcome up next, Miss Jan Rowe.
Hi. I'm just going to read from this weekly shelter updates. Caritas, meaning gift, if I remember correctly, is a Catholic organization which has about 30 SROs, single room occupancy, shared kitchen, shared bath. The current director told me there are a few vacancies each month with rents $650 to $950. Caritas has some connections to Father Bill's, although the latter is more of a shelter, a form online available if interested. Now, the Harvard Square shelter and the Lutheran Church at 66 Winthrop, next to Pinocchio's Pizza, is reopening until August 6th, which has never happened before. And then it's going to close until October. Some services will be available, like showers. To get there, you bear slightly left when emerging from the Harvard main station. So it's dry and has 20-some beds. A lottery for beds is when available Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and I had the number listed. My friend won a bed of many months and then won another month. Now, the big Lutheran church on Harvard campus is for homeless men over 45. So, now the staff at 66 Winthrop are mainly Harvard students. The Bishop of Massachusetts, about a century ago, Phillips Brooks, he's largely responsible for this shelter. And he graduated from Harvard. I think they were producing priests then. Thank you. Producing priest.
Thank you, Jan. What am I going to go to next? Let's go to the man with the big flower himself, Mr. Bill Lewis.
Why, thank you very much, Mr. Chadford. May I have permission to share the screen? So, I was trying to be poetic, and come on, we're a single country where we're acting like idiots. We're just the left hand, the right hand belong to the same bird kind of thing. In a country so divided, is there no way to find peace? Is there nothing we can agree on? Will this fighting never cease? The other side of evil, they're all Nazis in disguise, which is all the reasons that we need to punch them in the eyes. Our side is righteous one. We're God's chosen flock. We don't have to compromise. And then I got angry. That was getting really stupid. Protest marches are lots of fun. We walk around, we beat a drum. We yell at people we don't like. Those lousy folks can take a hike. We are the ones, we are the gods, we are the kings. Obey us and now I'm getting angry again. Let's talk about woke white leftists tell Egyptians what to, oh, this is just gonna go. to health. Let's not do any of these. Now I'm getting depressed. You can see why I'm depressed every time I turn around. So I am now going to like do that Zen thing and it's the best that I can do. Here we go. Share the screen with both of you. I had three female friends from college who were all single mothers. A divorce, an unexpected pregnancy, and infertile vitalization, that thing. And Judy, she got doubles. Here are the twins. I would go and visit and we'd have lots of fun together. And then one day I saw this movie, Scylla, Queen of the Desert. And I got inspired. And I said, yes, an adventure across the desert. A bunch of drag queens go across the desert in Australia, blah, blah, blah. And they have adventures. And I wanted to have adventures. So I talked to my friends. And that summer, I fly into Green Bay, Wisconsin. I rent an RV and we all get in. Me and Judy and Gwen and Pat and their four kids. And there we are in this RV exploring the world, the bridges of Montgomery, Monty counties, whatever that is. We took our first trip out to visit my brother in Utah. We piled into the RV and drove across the lands. The women took care of everything. All I had to do was smile and entertain the kids. What could be better than that? And then when we got to Utah, we had fun with my brother and we went to Temple Square. And we walked around Temple Square and talked about all the Mormon things. And these families, these people would come up to us and look at me and say, it's so nice to see a proper Mormon family who's not afraid to go out in public. And we would just have wonderful times and all the silly things we do together because that's what kids are supposed to do, go to water parks and do dangerous things. And it was wonderful. And it was just what we all wanted to do, explore the world. The next time we went out to New York and saw Niagara Falls. And then we saw God knows what. Oh, we went to Wisconsin for a summer festival for Sommerfest in Sverige, it's in Swedish, and we did it. And we went out to a lake when we went to Sweden. I went to Sweden with two of the kids and had great times together, chasing pigeons in the park and just exploring the world. Riding horses with Sandy. I would write plays and the kids and I would put on the plays for the other parents. We had a great celebration for our glorious RV. We had a pirate flag, which we displayed proudly and took over the world because we could. And life is beautiful. And when they came, the twins came out to visit me for a week in California. We built a monster. If you've ever heard of Split P. Anderson's, it was a holy place. And then I hitchhiked home. Yes, a little adventure of the world. And I just wanted to share a fun story with you that didn't have anything to do with Donald Trump or anything else in the world. Have a beautiful day.
Thank you very much. Up next, I'd like to bring up a few years ago when we had the Salem groups coming to Stone Soup all the way to Cambridge. I used to call it the North Shore invasion. Now we have the West Coast invasion. Much to the thanks of the next person I'm introducing up, Don Kingfisher Campbell. A lot of the people who are coming up in the weeks and hopefully months to come are in large part due to his influence, of which I'm always grateful. And let's bring him up right now and give him his 3 to 5 minutes. Mr. Campbell, mic is yours.
Thank you very much. This is a test of the Marvin Louis Dorsey assistance system. It works. Okay. This poem is called Surf. When I watch my daughter look down at her diapered, striped t-shirt wearing pre-toddler, make friends with another child while constantly coming small waves with white crest dissolve into tan sand laden with footprints. When Lollipop proceeds to sit with a white sun hat on and begins to scoop moist clumps with a yellow plastic shovel into a blue plastic dump truck bed, then stands up and gazes out at the wide ocean, happily pointing to a passing seagull. I feel comfort, knowing when I die, I have left behind life to visit planetary landmarks and experience begetting their own children long after I have returned to soil and someday forgotten in perpetuity. That's all I brought. Chad, you're muted.
Oh, crap. At this point, I'd like to bring up Nike Truth if they're available.
Yes, hello, good evening. This is a short piece with no title. An earth so soft, she doesn't want to support your intrusive weight or your arrogant steps. The slick of leaves are a boat that carry you to the bottom, to her depths, to her end. Will I be like the leaves? Will she suck me alive until I'm waiting to disintegrate at the slightest touch? Will she even be that kind to me? Am I just a buffet for the squirrels, the occasional chipmunk and blue jay? Or am I just thinking too hard, staring at these white fields way too long? Thank you.
Thank you, Nike Truth. And up next, I would love to bring up Chris Vinoy. Yet one of the multitudes I wouldn't have met if it weren't for the people who've come here outside of Boston every week and the ones who've given me recommendations, i.e., Mr. Weswick. So, Chris Vinoy, welcome back. The mic is yours.
Oh, thank you, Fred. The poem from production called Waymark, put out by my friend Roger Applon. Let me see if I can find it. There it is. It goes, called All I Eat Are Bullets and Bad Dreams. The table is filled with memories, with centerpieces, wilted flowers, sadly sag in their tarnished face. Dirty plates of regret, put molding, always ready to be eaten cold again. My diet is a full one, I know. I think I will add a can of hope to my next meal. A little bit of fiber might help. Well, thank you.
Thank you, Miss Vinoy. Good to see you again. And with that, who do we go to next? I guess I'll go to the Magister Maestro himself, Mr. Edward S. Galt.
Thank you. Thank you very much. My piece tonight is called The Ice People. sort of a science fiction piece. The narrator is about 150 years from now reflecting on his childhood. The Ice People. When we were children, we sometimes would have a hard time falling asleep. So my older brother would see if he could frighten me with scary stories. His favorite was the one about the Ice People. The Ice People, according to one legend, came from the north. Some people believe they emerged from caves. Some said their bodies were like ours, but made of solid ice. When others told the stories, they were made of chunks of ice. Their faces resembled skulls, ice skulls. Sorry. Okay. Ice skulls. They would roam the streets at night looking for naughty children to snatch up and take away to never be seen again. Ever. This was the favorite lore around campfires, so it was possible for the Ice People to appear out of the woods and get you. Even in summer, they were impervious to heat. You weren't safe even during the day. Many children got snatched up on their way to a game. My dad said that he was afraid of the Ice People too. At first, I thought he was remembering from when he was a kid, but he told me that the Ice People patrolled the streets during the time his grandfather was a kid, during the time of the tyrant. Dad said the real Ice People worked for the tyrant. The tyrant controlled them like the flying monkeys I saw in an old film from 200 years ago. They would kidnap people and send them to places far away, never to be seen again, ever. I asked my dad, where did the Ice People go? After the Civil War and the famine, the tyrant fled, and the Ice People were stopped because enough people told the princes no. Thank you very much. That was a relatively new one. I have to work on it a bit. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Galt. And now I'd like to welcome up Karen Pierce Gonzalez, if she would like to read.
Thank you very much. This is my first time here, and I'm here to hear Mr. Marvin Louis, so I'm pleased to be here. I'm going to read one poem, and I've recently co-edited Beautiful Little Fools with Alan Perry of Broken Spine Arts, and it's a anthology it's the centennial of the Great Gatsby. So the theme is the guilt and the glitz and the guilt and the glitz of the Great Gatsby era. This is the opening poem in the anthology. Dreaming big in a crowded garment factory. A finger on the sawdust floor of this drafty tenement sweatshop, easy to sweep up. In time to even forget, because I have 9 more, including the right one to twist and turn. And wasn't this the American dream? Streets of gold, I swore I'd have enough strength, if need be, to slave for. Didn't think it would come to this, feeding my newborn, forcibly seated by the married man who supervises my pay. This child will speak perfect English, help others understand the brokenness of my words. Awash with Mediterranean memories, my tongue's homeland, so far away, like the ship I boarded as steerage, because If I just keep showing up, be more careful. When steam pressing yards and yards of creamy gold and green knee-high night club flappers, all the rage, satiny, sleek, carefree. I'll own one or two because someday a man, true blue and dashing, will show up, and I do ring in his hand for me. Thank you.
Thank you, Karen, and welcome. We hope to see you back at some point. And speaking of back, let's welcome up back the returning poet. Multiple publications now available on Amazon. Mr. Richard Spizak, the poet of Three Rivers.
Thank you so much. I've enjoyed all the wonderful poetry so far, and I'm looking forward to our featured guest tonight. This has something to do with the not news. AP. Oh, so still excluded is the name of the piece. Yes, the AP is still barred with so little regard. May the toothy, truthy niet be misconstrued. Who farted? And the courts again refuse to state in any way, shape, or form, or make the slightest feint toward, well, do you remember back when the norm? Will the Trumpist, MAGA fist ever reform? What have we come to this? Will there be no judicial, prejudicial restraint? Are we living in a continuous storm? I state, lest we remember the former glory, the AP shall no longer convey or parlay this story. Locked out, this noble effort yet remains stained. Unholy, we will not forget. Since they would neither bow nor scrape to gain, what the hell do they use for brains? Access to the liar's pit. What has the White House made of it? The Taco Bell may moan and bay, and speaking truth, yet there, oh dear, she will not stray but yield as feared. He may say the moon's cheese is made, and then add some blondie hot sauce in full tirade. No longer strained by the perfume of truth. No, no, not me. I'd rather have mine flavored with truth. That be catered, spiced with lies in service to a favored few by the piping of some leggy, blondish baby Ruth. This White House, once habitat of truth. The buck stopped here once upon a time now past. And from the Trumpists all the time we're offered crime, 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 crime. Cannot last. Would they not play the Trumpist game and give Mississippi some new name? Ivana's folly, bestowed thereon by the woody master coiffed disaster Oberon. Barron's puddle, see the Atlantic transformed. But when in its storm it shall be renamed by the Trumper, he long renowned as Putin's slave, shall name each storm a Democratic storm, call it Obama, Carter, Kennedy, Truman. Hey, after all, he's DJT, he's only human. No longer served by the Weather Service, FEMA's boss isn't nervous. He may have forgotten the reason we used to beware of hurricane season, and Tornado Alley has been renamed and is now officially christened to someone named Pelosi, so I guess you better listen. Thanks. By the way, we just finished the Merchant of Venice. Act 1 is up on YouTube. Acts 2, 3, 4, and 5 are coming. And if you're interested in Zoom Shakespeare Theater, we'll be doing Midsummer Night's Dream in July. So let me know if you're interested.
That sounds awesome, and congratulations on getting that going. I got to start watching the videos next week, or hopefully tomorrow if I can actually relax on Juneteenth. We'll see what happens. But now I'd like to get to who do we have left? A couple of people. Ah, yes. Let's go to Mr. John Wezick, who just celebrated a birthday, and Facebook did not tell me. I hope that was intentional, and I just didn't.
Yeah, it was intentional, you know. Yeah, okay, so like I said last week, George Wallace drove all the way up from New York City to do a feature in Manchester, New Hampshire. So I think I'd read a poem of his, and this is from also from Roger Aplon's magazine called Waymark. George's poem is called There Will Be Peace at the End of the World. I have seen it in sad dreams and blue cafes, tasted it in the howl of the wind, weeping at street corners, and includes inside sandwich shops. Peace at the end of the world, and I have felt it glow in low, dark, secret places and in sun-bright luncheonettes where working men go for 20 precious minutes of solace. And me, disjointed, disillusioned, disappearing along with them. Peace in mugs of beer, countertops and sandwiches, soup bowls, warm pie, on cold plates, spoons and clattering coffee cups, working men being left the hell alone while bee-headed waitresses contemplate their nails and count their tips. Peace at the end of the world, I have seen it and with my own eyes, held it to my hands, and bet you have too. At the end of the night shift, busboys piling chairs on tables, the homeless and those with no place to go turning into shadows, and a man with a mop is walloping the floor with soapy, lukewarm water. Here's bleach in your eyes and the boss at the cash register watching over everything. Here's cook in the kitchen hanging sauce pots on hooks, and outside on the boulevard and rich women stroll past in high heels and furs in pursuit of hot lovers and sweet liaisons. I see them too through grease and mirrors, through smoke screen and window glass. They are magnificent, also captives to time. They are lost artifacts and grand architectural civilizations. They go where daylight goes and everything good along with them, to where eternity bleeds, to where what's black and holy waits patiently for all this stupidity to end. Then there will be peace in the world, and it will fill the heart of every woman and man past all holding, and all of us walking in the same metronome through sunshine and icy rain toward the light at the end of the world which surpasses darkness, where peace begins. That is George Wallace, and George Wallace would make an outstanding feature at Stone Soup. Thank you.
My favorite part about the open mic, the open networking. Thank you so much, John, for the recommendation. And thank you so much, and happy belated.
Thanks, Chad.
And who do we have next? Why, let's see. I was upset at our lack of visual poets from Delaware. Let's welcome up Mr. Robert Fleming.
Good evening. I'm Robert Fleming. I'm a visual poet and digital artist from Lewis, Delaware, and I'm going to share some news for Chad and I. Last Sunday, I did an event with the leader of the Poetry Global Network, Mark Fishburne, and Chad and I submitted to their black and white acrostic anthology, and Mark shared that this piece will be included. Chad wrote the text, and I did the layout and the graphic. So I'll ask Chad if he will read his poem for us. Chad, are you there?
Just forgot where my unmute button was. And thank you so much. Let me just blow this up a bit on my screen. Saint Anywhere Else. And if you want clues of what this poem is, look up, go to look up Saint Elsewhere, and then just type in Saint Elsewhere, theories, and you might actually get some interesting trivia about the Saint Elsewhere show on TV. This is called Saint Anywhere Else. By inept, meaty hand, Our planet is revealed to not be ornament, but balloon on a drift, filled with boring air, about to be punched by eternal preschool romper room rug roach, screaming, "Get off! I want to pop my world."
Thank you, Chad. And the Mark said the anthology should be published within 2 months. So I'm going to share a few more things myself. This is a fake book cover, which I created for a promotion about 3 years ago, which did not happen. Ellis Elliott was launching a book called Break in the Field, and we were considering doing a promotion for the cover of the book, where three fake book covers would be shown, and the real book cover would be shown, and people would have a chance to guess and then enter a raffle for a free cover of Ellis's book. So this was one of the covers. The Juneteenth Boy arrived on the 13th, gone by the 19th. Young adult romance by Ellis Elliott. But that wasn't Ellis's book. It was called Break in the Field. And I will also share tonight, as a continuation of Pride Month, just a few Pride photographs from Pride in 2016 in Washington, D.C. Just trying to get to that right page. Know what happened. Here we go. So these were some of my friends when I lived in Washington, D.C. Around 2016. And the man on the far left with the glasses and the white shirt was my partner at the time, Daryl. And here is a black and white tracer version of the image. And now we have a little more of distortion of the black and white in the image. And this is Pablo Picasso's work called Guernica, where I was able to capture some elements of the facial distortions that Picasso created. So if you can see here, sort of in the middle to the left, there's an outline of a face which has similar style to the Guernica faces. And here they are. On the left side is Guernica, on the right side is my image. Here we are in color. And now the color is red and white. And now it's the rainbow colors. Even more distortion. And now I've created this Cyclops using the Canva filter edit called Wobble. And here it is in green. And then on the left side is the original photo. And on the right side was my favorite edited photo. So thank you for letting me share, Chad, and my upcoming publication and some earlier Pride photos, which I turned into digital art. And just so you know, Chad, the June 13th boy would like to feature on Stone Soup.
I'll keep that in mind. Fantastic. That's that's excellent. That is excellent news all around. Last time we talked about it, you sent an email. You weren't sure if it was that specific piece, so I'm looking forward to the anthology's release. It's been a good year for anthologies. And it's been a good night for open mic poetry, and we're going to finish off the open mic and get to our feature. The last person coming up, check out his column, It's All One Thing, at oddballmagazine.com, and consider submitting to Oddball Magazine. Let's welcome up Mr. James Van Loy.
Thanks, Chad. So I've got a poem here called 50% of Everything. 50% of everything. The scientists have found the missing matter. The 50%, half of everything, must be there, had to exist. Condemned materialism of another era. We're now clearly so finished with all that so gross and actually lethal. The word that's so easily conjoined with military and industrial and complex, very complex indeed. And fact, and all that long walk to the end of the platform to encounter our singing self from a past receding in rear view mirror, now so quickly the stagecoach flying right by our distracted eyes. Oh, don't look now at the genocide. Watch the bombs fall on Tehran and then on not so old Tel Aviv and Haifa, captured part of Israel. They erect a tent on the common. It says, "Standing with Israel." Oh, yes. How many of us stand with Israel now? Oh, don't look at Gaza, starving babies. Don't look at this missing matter in our face. Oh, can't we still feel it with unknown pulse? We're not the good guys. They didn't want to do it. We didn't want them to do it. They're not the good guys. Guess we always knew it. They always knew it. They were so slap happy sometimes. They seemed so rad, but there were times, dear. They were so bad. They made us cry so. We didn't want to do it. We didn't want to do it. We need some love, that's true. Yes, we do. Did we do? We do. Give us, give us, give us, give us what we cry for. The brand of revelation, revolution that we could die for. They made us love them. They made us love them. Oh, themselves. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Van Loy. While I haven't announced the July people officially, I can tell you that on the 16th, we've secured MP Carver, who was one of the masterminds behind almost anything going on in Salem poetry these days, and one of the biggest organizers this year of the Massachusetts Poetry Festival, which took place the last day back on what was it, May 31st and then June 1st, or was it May 30th and June 1st? It was May 31st, and it was actually May 30th, May 31st, and June 1st, and it was extremely successful, and she was one of the people responsible for that. And it'll be great to hear her read from her newest collection. If you've never heard her before, this is a rare treat. It's a rare Wednesday because she's usually involved with a poetry reading in Lynn, Massachusetts, at the Walnut Street Cafe in Lynn, Mass. So this will be a rare meeting, and I respect her work a lot. And of course, next week we have Nina La Negra, who is, if you've ever been around the Boston poetry scene, been to the Cantab or the Haley House or where what have you, Lizard Lounge as well, one of the most respected performance poets out there. And I secured her back in, I believe, February, and we were finally able to make the announcement and have her here for June 25th next week. I recommend you make time to get there and fill the house. It is going to be a full room. And with that, we can stop talking about everyone else and get to our feature for tonight. It's time for me to read the boilerplate for tonight. And this is someone who I first heard of with the when I was published in Spectrum, courtesy of Don Kingfisher so many years ago. And I had heard his work then, and I've heard his work a couple times over this past year, and I'm very happy to give him the full feature tonight. It is Marvelous Marvin Louis Dorsey. I'm going to make that nickname stick. According to the boilerplate, Marvin Louis Dorsey was raised in the San Fernando Valley and now resides in the high desert. He worked for decades as a kennel manager for a boxer rescue facility. Marvin has been writing poetry for over 20 years. He's the inventor of the poetic libretto. He has been published in the book Looking Out of Alhambra and in these printed online publications as well, the San Gabriel Valley Poetry Quarterly, Spectrum, name drop, Poetic Diversity, and Four Feathers Press, and their numerous anthologies. He also has produced 6 books: Desert Prowl, Gathered Pieces of Broken Glass, Masquerades, Casual Conversations, The Poetic Librettos, and is that what I think? Snacky snack. Oh, snack. Is it Snacky Snacks or Snacky Shacks?
Snacky Snacks.
Snacky Snacks. I'm loving these titles, and I am overjoyed with the introduction, just with the reading the boilerplate. I apologize for my poor eyes. I need to get new glasses, but we don't need to worry about that. We can all put our hands together 40, 50 times, audibly, visually, virtually, or otherwise, for Mr. Dorsey, and come up to the virtual podium.
Yeah, thank you. And thank you for allowing me to read tonight. I'm going to read 2 librettos and a broadside. I will be screen sharing. And let's see here. So this first libretto is called Zombie Town. Dodging zombies in pitch darkness is so much more dangerous than in a broad daylight. So afraid I am, but can't stop taking pictures. Some things look so damn strange. I just hit a button so I can't see this. I'm sorry. So damn strange. Like turning pages in a libretto you hate having to read. Out, bleed me if you think you can. Have no idea how many pints left if chased by a goddamn zombie in middle of night. Look not to your left nor to your right. Just run. He don't need no damn cigarette. It's too hard to breathe as of right now. Who is cowering down, knowing only what they see is real? If we lay ourselves to sleep, what would keep us awake? For God's sake, how many words would it take to explain what he was trying to say? For no reason at all, we believe ourselves to be free. Why could it not come to eyes something so visible? There was this train in a zombie land after dark. I was still so afraid. It took me hours before I made myself back home. Leftovers, zombie town, food after dark. Where do I start leaving my skin behind? Why does my mind make other people sick? So that's the first libretto. Now the next thing I read will be a broadside. This is a broadside. A voice in my head said, should he stop? The muse said, no, he stops when I say so. Had been looking for a photo, found this in my bleeding mind, or was it on this broken cell phone? I have grown from where it was to where I now am, not too far away, but close enough. Hush, you damn silly fool, said the goddamned voice in my fucked up head. You ain't dead yet. Stop complaining. Most people don't know insanity. Madhouse is the best thing waiting at the end of the tunnel. Bundle up, little boy. It's about to get real cold. And I'm going to finish up with this last libretto. Unless I can bring it up. And this libretto is called, this poetic libretto is called, You'd Be a Fool to Blink. Somewhere in subconscious, I'm walking backwards through a handful of librettos, cappella. Young fella, no one knows the truth. It's the grab bag. All hands on deck. Drowning ain't easy, you know. After years of show tell, the old man was up against the sleep, found himself still trying to catch a wink. counting an hour's worth the blinks, just staring. Tried to write a poem to the world so it would remember me. Then I came to my senses, reopened my eyes, quickly realized there is no reason not to wonder. After my father died, he told me, after he was dead and gone, my father, he told me, stay away from that fool's gold, boy. Just because it shines doesn't mean you have to wear it around your neck. Stay away from that fool's gold, boy, is what my father told me after he was dead and gone. My father, he told me, stay away from all that fool's gold, boy. Yeah, was that his echo? Or is someone in here answering his crazy ass back? Said a voice in my head. Another voice replied to the first voice by saying, who could ever know? He's always finding lost puppies, saying good morning to strangers, to complete strangers. A much softer, more gentle voice said, who cares where the echo came from? And what's wrong with saying good morning to strangers? Who says he knows all of you so well? And who can have a hard heart for a puppy? One of the other voices responded to the much more softer, more gentle voice by saying, oh, don't you, why don't you just keep it down over there, softy? The much more softer, more gentle voice reacted by saying, oh, why don't you go find a noisy, dark place to fuck yourself? And all the other voices were like, oh, we didn't see that coming. Now, looking back, it was fairly quiet for the rest of that day. Here, take my hand, you crazy ass old man. Let me show the way, said the kid, the inner child. I said, will you get out of here, you little monster? The kid said, get out of here? Crazy ass old man, where do you expect me to go? One of the voices in my head said, you can go to hell, you little rat. The kid said to the voice, your mama, you no good. The kid started to cry, head hanging down. He walked away. The softer, more gentle voice said, you know, you're a real asshole keeping him locked up in that cage like that. I was like, well, what am I going to do with him? A kid? Does it look like my life is filled with free time? The softer, gentle voice said, free time? What's free time? been fighting with me. I find it hard to love myself. Not too deep, but a cut above, feeding a monster, flesh, bones. There's a dash in the middle of beginning and end. My cold, strange, lifelong mistress, best friend. Yup, said the poet, glancing over at a pair of dark sunglasses, red flames, painted frames, remote control, cell phone, battery operated fly swatter lying on his half made bed. Yup. Now, was that an echo of the poet's yup echoing back at him? Or was that last yup an answer? Thanks, guys.
Give it up for Marvelous Marvin, Louis Dorsey. I gotta go with the Marvelous Marvin. I'm from Boston. That was where Marvin Hagler was from.
I didn't know that.
I almost think I get a feeling we might need an encore, sir.
You know what? I'm not. We might be able. Is there anything I can find? Can you give me a minute to find something?
Sure.
Maybe two broadsides.
That sounds great.
All right, give me a minute, okay?
You got it.
All right.
And hopefully we'll get some information on how to purchase his books. And he comes back, even though I kind of get the sense of what a libretto is, I would like him to kind of explain his creation as well.
You know, a libretto is back in the day. Look, oh, I found it. All right, here we go. This is a broadside. Just so many steps to be taken, pictures to be took, just so many words to be written, spoken out loud in one's lifetime. Across dirty, dead river, ashes blew into my face. In someone's beat up old broken heart, words are like light years away. Everyday things hard to say, ain't easy to write about. Woke up in this morning from a dream. Or was it me snoring? In mine, a train ride, eyes tightly shut. Who knows ways traveled? Is it gravel, grass, dirt, sand, dead bodies? Is it broken, shredded pieces of glass that's singing beneath my tired feet? I think I'll stop there, guys. Thank you, Chad.
Thank you, sir. And go on. You were explaining the libretto form. I would love to hear the your summary of it.
Yeah, the libretto, back in the day, if people went to a play, they would hand out a libretto. And in the libretto, there would be like the word or the words or the text or the song of the play. So I took out, because I'm not a playwright, so I took out most of the text. I put my poems in it and my photos and turned it into just not just a libretto, but a poetic libretto. Most librettos, the libretto is somewhere in between the chapbook and the broadside, and then your full length book. The thing about the libretto is it's 16 pages. And the reason why it's only 16 pages is that you can print it out yourself without having, if you have your own printer, you can take it out and print it yourself. And I think it's a real nice way to just share it, because it's 16 pages. You know, you can pass it out to your friends and family and not give them a whole book to read. It's probably an easier way, a smaller way to share your poetry and get people a better idea of what you do in your poetry. So that's a poetic libretto.
I look forward to hearing and seeing many more from you. Please don't be a stranger to Stone Soup, and I hope we see you back again in some capacity sooner rather than later.
Thank you, Chad.
That was fantastic. And Don can help me with getting the information on how to get your books, or you can send me a link afterwards and I can share it with the group tomorrow.
Thank you.
I'll be doing a little bit of work on Juneteenth, probably a lot at home, but I'm so glad everyone came out tonight. Thanks to everyone who came, and thanks to Marvin as well. And a little error: Marvin Hagler wasn't born in New Jersey, but I believe that's boxing in Boston was where he got his start.
Okay.
Or at least that's where I used to read about his stories. He was featured in Boston Magazine because since losing the Sugar Ray, he had been featuring in violent, I think, Italian movies, like foreign movies where he was like punching through people with bloody fists, and that was his life afterwards. But anyway, enough of that. Just wanted to make a correction for that one person who is going to finally comment on my videos and watch it through when I make a fuck up. But anyway, thank you guys, as is usually the case. But thank you so much, Marvin, and thank you for your words, and thank you for your librettos. That's a very that's an inspiring choice as someone who blends photos and poems as well. We could choose it. We could make our own librettos someday. So
yes, you
but
can.
in some ways we already are. But I like the libretto challenge, and thank you for showing that to us. Thank you for literally sharing on Zoom for that. We do our obligatory wave, and I encourage you guys to come up next week. Come to our virtual podium to see Nina La Negra perform. It's going to be an excellent end to June, an excellent beginning of summer. We say goodbye to summer at Stone Soup, and we when we wake up next Wednesday, it's going to be summer, and it's good God, it's going to be hotter than it is now. Christ. Anyway, have a very good evening. Stay cool. Take care of yourselves. Take care of someone else, and enjoy yourselves. Have a good evening.
Thank you.
Or as a cartoon character once said, show's over. See you next time.